go get him again.
Welcome back to another unboxing first impression video on my channel. Today we are delving into the brand of Mind Games, playing mind games with us. This one is called Mentor, which I believe was co-released with Prodigy, the white bottle right here. Playing on that whole thing about chess and the Mentor and the Prodigy. If this is part of the Free Bottle Brigade, first and foremost, this brand reminds me of Royal Crown, as you know, there's no substance behind the marketing. I don't mind, you know, ultra niche brands like Amouage, you know. At some point, I feel like some of them are worth the price point that they're asking at discounters, things like that. When you do your research, this is one of those that they're just straight up jacking you. Like I got probably, with tax and everything, this is probably $1,500 USD on my desk right now, and I got two more fragrances. So I got well over $2,000 worth of fragrances. Now that's a big flex for a fragrance reviewer, right? You put them all here, you look almost legit. Nobody, like people that don't know about the Free Bottle Brigade. So if you want to check out, you know, the corruption and the garbage that's going on in our fragrance community, go check out the review on Prodigy, the unboxing on Prodigy. And I go into a little bit of detail prior to that. I'm just kind of giving out a service to my loyal subscribers that don't like to hear about the FBB on every video, when I got like, this is a highly influenced FBB brand, and it's a big part of me, ingrained in me, when I see somebody getting gypped, right? They go to a used car salesman, a guy that's a slime ball, a sleaze ball. You know, I'm always out there to just go like, hey bud, right? You should probably go buy something somewhere else, just because of this. I feel like it's almost my due diligence, right? Newbies won't do it because they want to get the free bottles. They want to get their subscriber base up. They want to get free bottles so they can have something like this. Maybe they can't afford it. So the fragrance reviews are more positive with the little guys. The big guys, they're just here for a check. They're just marketers. So go check out that first review if you kind of want to know more about that. But today we're delving into Mentor. Now, I've smelled two of the brand already, so this is my third one. The cycle right now is that they're gourmands. And gourmands at $400 or $500, forget about it. It's a cheap way of making a quick dollar. No brand should be charging $250 or more for just gourmand fragrances. I feel like it takes no talent. They're very linear as fragrances, so it's just basically a compound, right? You're going to choose something that's coffee based or chocolate based or something like that. You throw that in there and you just put a couple things around it, and there you go, you have a fragrance. Where there's actual talent when people start, or perfumiers start working with florals and things like that, and several other compounds to kind of try to make an idea. This is kind of lazy perfumery. It's kind of cheap and lazy perfumery. So when you're asking $400, especially if that's your motto for branding, I think By Kilian does it right, and I said it. They're still overpriced, but at least they do it correctly. They do the boozy gourmand thing and kind of pull it off, sort of. Like a lot of us are just like, By Kilian's not a brand that's like top notch. Like it'll never make like top 5 brands of all time for me, but they're just there, right? They're not going to defeat or be better than a Chanel, a Guerlain, a Dior, Amouage, or any other brand like that. They're not even going to come close. So if I look like a reviewer that you should be subscribed to, what are you waiting for, right? Welcome to the Robes08 channel. I'm Mark. And hit that subscribe, smash the like button. And to the Robes08 people, I know that you've watched 2 reviews, hopefully. This is the 3rd one. Hit the like again, please. I want my face above the Bowtie fragrance guys, guys like that are just slime ball marketers. Absolutely hate those people. I'd rather have myself getting clicked on than them, so people can be forewarned about these kind of brands. So the nose behind this is Carlos Vinales. Never heard of him. Let's take a look at the notes of Mentor. I like this bottle. I'm assuming, yeah, this is more like female, and then this is more male, like darker fragrances, I guess. So let's take a look at the notes. In the top, we got salted caramel. So it's going to be a gourmand. Lemon, plum. Okay, so they are, you know, that kind of brand that has like sexy notes. Like this other one, I think this one had rum in it. I smelled no rum. So we'll see if we smell any of these. In the middle, we got amber coffee. Okay. and creme de cassis. In the base, we got boya oud. That's new. Sandalwood and tonka bean. So, you know, if I was a betting man, gourmand, I would assume. Let's see. Let's put on strip first, then we'll put on skin. But, and again, their bottle's very heavy, right? They got some heft to them. You got this much glass on here. So let's delve into it. I think this was a 2024 release, if I remember correctly. Atomizer's okay. Not the best in the game, not the worst in the game. Let's smell this one. Balsamic a little bit. Tonka Ambery Glow. It's definitely gourmandish. So out of 3 fragrances in the Rolodex, it's clear to me that they're a gourmand brand now. Yeah, the plum's there. Smells a little caramelic. So caramel-like hue, like an ambery, almost like a balsam or something like that. Yeah, it's slightly salted. So the caramel, yeah, it's salted caramel note. Bang on. Not bad. I actually kind of like it. The plum's okay. Not the best in the game, not the worst in the game. Just mid. It's got a little bit of a dry, woody backbone, but it's got an ambery, balsamic kind of quality. There's also like a coffee-like hue to this as well. It's kind of busy up top. It's got like 2 or 3 gourmands, like bing, bing, bing. There's like a salted caramel thing. There's a plummy, ambery thing, and then there's a coffee-like thing. Fair to say that the structure of this is kind of out of whack, personally. I could see people kind of getting, especially if you're not used to darker fragrances, this may shock you a bit. There's a lot going on, a lot of crossover that shouldn't really be crossing over. A little too many chefs in the kitchen, we'll say. It sounds nice as, you know, like taking it at face value, right? Salted caramel, plum, coffee. But you start, like, think about mixing all that in a bowl. And it starts looking like, do you want to eat that? Because I don't. Do I want to smell that? It's going to smell like goopy, right? If you like almost like a molasses-like gourmand with a plummy hue, a little bit of coffee, like this might be for you. It's okay, but the build is sloppy. It's like a mid-tier Mancetta, right? Mancetta has like, sometimes they hit. They do like a simple gourmand and it just works. And then they have like the mid-tier, which this is it, and it's just like, what were they kind of thinking, right? It's kind of like all over. Some people still like that. And you're just like, really? You kind of like this? It's kind of like I could see it's too much. Like there's, and I like my complex scents. Don't get me wrong. I love complexity. But this kind of feels a little soupy. I'm telling you, what? And recently, like it's just kind of sad. Like, I think this is like back-to-back brands, Royal Crown, and then there was this other brand, right? Spirit of Dubai, and now this. These are all brands that are like $400, $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 a bottle. These are brands, like this is sad that this perfume world is going into this kind of like, what? There's no story to tell, right? Complex scents like Serge Lutens, like Sheldrake. Every single one that I smell has a purpose. And this is the kind of fragrance reviewer you want to follow, because I'm actually telling you that some fragrances have like a story. You can actually sense the story. It's too goopy. Like it's kind of like somebody that's new to perfumery and they're like, okay, so what's popular these days? And they're just talking to like 3 people in the business and they're just like, This guy says plum. Okay, we'll put plum in it. What about you? I feel like gourmand coffee fragrances are good. Okay. What about you? Those caramel ones. Okay. Okay. Give this to the parfumier. Can you do that for us? The parfumier is probably like, oh my God. That's the brief at Mind Games. No. This is more my speed. Like this smelt like a Montal Mancera. So it smells like a $80 early entry niche fragrance. Not $400 good. This smells like a $10 Aqualina fragrance. Like it's just like whipped cream. That's it. Basically. This, smells again like this is your threshold. Like this is your high end. Like I don't know, I'm running out of bottles here to actually, see what this brand can do. I probably prefer. See, I like some of the notes in here, but it's just so damn soupy. There's too much. The salted caramel accord, like start removing things. It's too busy. Like there's no. Like I said, like the brief is just like, it's just too much. I think it would have been better if you put it like a salted caramel. And what else is in here, right? Lemon, plum. Okay, forget that. Get rid of the plum. This is too much. You have to pick one. There's a plum fragrance, the coffee, or caramel. The coffee is kind of like the third wheel. Let's get rid of that. Start getting rid of some of these things. I would say, right, a salted caramel accord with maybe a little bit of a vanillic and sandalwood. That's it. Keep it, sometimes simpler is better. My complex is awesome, right? I got my Amouages, I got my Serge Lutens that are complex, and then you got the simpler stuff like your Tom Fords, among other brands, and then you got this. Like there's promise there, so I'm being honest. Like I'm trying to give you the positives and the negatives, and the negatives negatives, positives, right? Positives, beautiful bottles, we'll say, like good quality bottles. I can't say anything wrong. The atomizer is like in the middle, right? It's nor bad nor great. It's there. Magnetic cap shows quality, so that's a plus. Pricing, that's a negative, or just because of the juice inside. Like I don't care, if I'm going to be spending mega money, I want the aesthetics of the bottle to be okay. I don't really care that much. Like if I got a beautiful bottle, like an exquisite bottle, it's a plus. But if the bottle's just standard and okay, and it's got magnetic cap and it's got like a little things, I'm fine with it. But the juice inside is what counts. And oh man, that's where the negatives come in. And I'm not even talking about longevity and projection on this. I'm not talking about development. I'm kind of worried about development on these kind of fragrances. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Royal Crown, that it's just going to be flat and it's just going to go thump. It's getting less in your face now that it's on my skin a little bit more, but that doesn't make it any better. But if you like plummy fragrances, I don't know, caramel and ambery and balsam, I'm trying to think of like a brand that does this right. Fort Manley, they do these kind of like. This is kind of like that. It kind of reminds me of like fruity accords and balsamics and things like that. But Fort Manley does it right. They have things that go well together. What's another brand that does this kind of stuff? Fort Manley is probably number one that I could think of, like dark like that. This has that. So there is some positive, but the negatives far outweigh it. So unfortunately for me, this one right here, what is it called? Mentor. Oh, nope. Now, I'm sure my take. I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly, right? We got two more of these to delve into. Two more, is it black bottles? Yes, they are. So I don't know the names of them, but they are next. And then that's it for Mind Games for me. And honestly, off the strength, or the lack of strength of these three, the only way that I'm going to smell any more Mind Games fragrances is through decanting. Before this, I had no interest, honestly. I kind of had this preconceived thought of the brand, and I'm allowed to do that. I'm human. And that preconceived thought was correct. Like, the proof is here. Like, I don't mind being proved wrong by a brand. And the proof is in the pudding. If you have seen videos of mine over the years, you will notice that I have like a preconceived fragrance idea of a brand or a fragrance, or the brand hasn't shown me anything, and one fragrance shows up and it's just like, okay, proved me wrong. Right? Roja Dove, just recently, right? I've been bashing Roja Dove for years. Like, I haven't been testing out Roja Dove fragrances for years, and then all of a sudden I smelled Musk Oud and I gave it its flowers. I was like, this is a really excellent fragrance from Roja Dove. I have no qualms. Do I still think that it's a garbagey brand that steals a lot of ideas from the past? Absolutely. Overpriced? Absolutely. However, I'm going to give it flowers when it's due. So just trying to be fair. So now that you're my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly, right? Don't try to defend this brand. I don't need it. There's no way. I don't know. I feel like this is way too soupy for me. As always, a great pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. See you at the next one. Wish me luck. Thanks.